Pedro Vicente is concerned how his business is on to see trading drop by nearly a tertiary. We would miss 30% of our industry if gold visas are utilized, says the Lisbon characteristic software developer. By the program, rich human beings about the planet can profit constant residence in the nation, and later complete nationality following 6 years. To save they include to put €500,000, $578,000, £450,000, in the Portugal characteristic marketplace, or Euro 1 meter in the broad economics, or build a industry how employs 10 or more than human beings. Portugal entered the lead in 2012, while mired in a finance meltdown and frantic to increase inside invest. In full, the schema has now driven more than rather than euro of overseas invest in the nation, onto the Portugal by the government. And that has led to a characteristic boomers in both of Lisbon and Porto. Yet, the schema has not been out of debate, and down there are now moves to piece it. So which has lost incorrect? And in Portugal, fair one of lot countries in gold visa schemes, which is the present position concerning the UK's counterpart lead. The critique of Portugal's schema is creature led by the leftward bloc policy side, that is portion of the informal coalition support the minority group socialistic by the government. The leftward bloc argues how applicants to the schema are not quite vetted, guideline to several overseas criminals receive visas. The side as well says how not quite jobs include been created as a outcome of the invest. It points to the reality how out of all 6,416 rich foreigners who were given a gold visa, just 11 individuals, 0.2%, went for the stock option wherever they build a industry how employs more than rather than 10 human beings. As a outcome, it has manufactured a project law how proposes the liquidation of gold visas. The paper argues how they are a goal to pervert practices, impact petty, theft and cash money laundering, amongst some financial and penal illegalities. Leftward bloc MP José Manuel Pereza says, "We requirement overseas invest, but not at any price. We requirement invest how creates jobs, how is not related in corrupt practices, and invest how does not distinguish among rich migrant and the otherwise." Behind at Pedro Vicente's office space in Lisbon, he is worried on the leftward bloc's suggestion. His business is preparation to cut the tape on a new sold-out 55-flat opulence housing draft in center Lisbon, wherever about 40% of the acquisitions were done by gold visa buyers. Luís Lima, General Secretariat of Portugal's greatest property agent associate, APEMIP, says this lot needed reconstruction of Lisbon and Porto in latter year was done due to gold visa invest. He adds how in the lack of local accessible equity, the gold visa schema had engendered thousands of jobs, range of building workers to clean services. Out of gold visas the building production would include compressed, says Mr. Lima. Political economist João Duca as well sees the gold visa schema as an economical successful. He says how time just a diminutive quantity of new business community were created, overseas investors include pay Portugal characteristic owners millions of euros how include perhaps been reinvested within the country, creation thousands of jobs, or save current business community of the verge. Meantime, else political economist, Ana Santos, of the College of Coimbra, warning how the gold visa schema has led to heaven-high prices in the Portugal housing characteristic marketplace. Yet, she suggests how these cliff prices will eventually do Portugal gold visas less than desired. If the Portugal by the government supports the leftward bloc's project law remnant to be seen. It rejected to commentary. Brian Morgan, Prof of Business at Cardiff Metropolitan College, and an inside invest specialist, says how the some anxiety concerning gold visas given by Portugal and some Europe Association state is how holders can journey to some EU countries. In the instance of Portugal gold visas, holders can once journey about the Schengen zone region of 22 EU term state advantage Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway and Switzerland. And later if the mount reached Portugal nationality following 6 years they can constantly go to else EU nationality. In Portugal's instance, its gold visa schema, as a brief term fix, had thing departure for he, says Professor Morgan. This nation's characteristic marketplace was congestive behind in 2012, and it has taken into account it a enormous increase, yet, down there are now signs how the marketplace is overheated, and concerns how down there wasn't appropriate due zeal above who got a visa. Recent year the UK by the government given 355 such a visas, up 56% of a year over. The Household Office Space says it has no plans each to offer out more than gold visas position Brexit, or to reduce the invest limit. In reality, a representative told how in 2015 it enlarged the invest standard of £1 metre to £2 metre, to provide how the visas were not creature undersold. Professor Morgan says how in comparison with the position in Portugal, the UK gold visa schema is chick-nourish to the UK economics. In the schema of things it is diminutive, he adds. This UK instead of gets largest of its inside invest of companies, such as across the sea firms house manufacture means or manufacturing some investment. It is the UK's versatile labour marketplace, nice enterprise management, low corporate taxation, and London's stance as a world finance centre par superiority how attracts our inside invest. And I don't see Brexit change how to a lot. He believes the UK will achieve several kind of transactions in the EU. So if I was the UK by the government I'd be seduced to lift the cost of the gold visas.